Welcome to Sonara's Deep Dive.
Have you ever felt like there's, I don't know, a secret code to life, like a hidden language the universe speaks, just waiting for you to decipher it?
Oh, absolutely. It's this feeling that there's this incredible power, maybe deep inside you, if only you knew how to really tap into it, to consciously shape things.
Exactly. It feels like it's almost within reach.
It's more than just a nice idea, though. It's actually a core truth you see hinted at in so many ancient wisdom traditions, and even explored pretty deeply in modern psychology.
The idea that our inner world isn't just like influencing things, but actively designing our outer experiences. That's profound.
It really is. But often these concepts can feel a bit abstract, or maybe just theoretical for a lot of people. Hard to grasp in a practical way.
And that's exactly why we're here today for this deep dive. Our whole mission is to unpack some of these really profound concepts, the kind that are meant to empower you directly.
Right, to give you that practical understanding, that actionable wisdom, so you can consciously reshape your reality, not just think about it.
Think of this as maybe a shortcut, an express lane to understanding and, importantly, applying this stuff in your daily life.
And we've pulled from some really fascinating sources for this. Our main guide is Hermetic manifestation, a Jungian and animist approach.
Which itself weaves together insights from the Abundance Book, another really powerful source.
It does, and this blend lets us explore these ancient traditions, Hermeticism, animism, alongside the incredible depth of Carl Jung's psychology. We get to see how they all sort of converge.
So we're looking at how these fields, which might seem really different on the surface, actually point to this single kind of startling truth. Your inner world is actively crafting your outer reality.
Crafting is the right word, not just influencing.
And the promise here, for you listening, is that you'll hopefully get some real aha moments, maybe some surprises, and definitely practical tools you can start using right away.
Yeah, this isn't just for, mystics or philosophers. It's really for anyone who's curious about consciously shaping their life.
So get ready. We're diving into the very fabric of existence and really your own personal power. Let's unpack this whole thing.
It's like we're exploring the universe's operating system and figuring out how your consciousness fits right into it. It's a key part.
Okay, so where do we start? Let's begin with what feels like the absolute foundation for all of this. Mental transmutation. The Hermetic principle puts it so powerfully. Mind, as well as metals and elements, may be transmuted from state to state, degree to degree, condition to condition. Wow. What's the core takeaway there?
The biggest thing, I think, is that your mind isn't just a passive bucket holding thoughts. It's an active alchemical instrument.
An instrument, I like
Yeah. It means this principle isn't just philosophy. It's like a direct instruction manual telling you that you have the power right now to shift your emotional states, your mental states, even your vibrational states at will.
So literally changing fear into courage, or turning that feeling of lack into, I don't know, a sense of flow.
Exactly that. It's not about just coping with negative states. It's about consciously, actively transforming them. Alchemy.
So the core theme is really, you are the operator of your own energy. That feels incredibly empowering, doesn't it?
It does, because if you can learn to consciously shift your mental frequency,
Like changing the radio station.
precisely, then the whole field of your life, everything around you, can start to reorganize itself. The music changes and the dance changes.
That makes so much sense. And the Abundance Book really hammers this home, doesn't it? It says, when you know that your supply is spiritual and comes from within, the outer world must conform. Must conform. That's the key phrase. It reinforces this idea that thought isn't just reactive, it's fundamentally causative.
Meaning our thoughts actually create things.
In a very real way, yes.
Yeah.
And energy isn't passive either, it's directive. So if you cultivate that inner mastery and consciously direct your mental energy, the external stuff, circumstances, opportunities, relationships, has to eventually reflect that internal shift. It has to. Okay, now this brings up a really interesting contrast with how we often think today, the animist perspective.
Ah, yes. This is fascinating.
We tend to think of thoughts as, these abstract things inside our heads. But in ancient animist practices, thought was seen very differently.
As a living current, right, almost like electricity.
Exactly. Pulsing with charge, with spirit, with actual intention. It implies you could literally speak to water or move with the wind, breathe into the earth. And by doing that, you are actively casting your energy out, shaping form.
So mental transmutation in that view isn't just a metaphor for like positive thinking exercises.
No, it's ritualized alchemy. It's interacting with a living world using the power of your focused mind. That's a huge shift.
It really deepens the concept, doesn't it? It puts consciousness back into the world, suggesting it extends beyond us, interacting with an ensouled, responsive reality. Your thoughts ripple out.
They have an effect. And this connects so well with Carl Jung's work, too. He talked about psychic energy, didn't he?
Yeah.
Libido.
Yes, libido. He saw it as the fundamental life force. Every thought you have, every desire, every belief, it's all a stream of this psychic energy.
So transmutation, from a Jungian angle, is about consciously redirecting that energy flow.
Precisely. Instead of letting it get bogged down in old, maybe regressive patterns or those unconscious loops we all get stuck in, you consciously choose to reroute it. You aim it towards a higher potential, maybe towards embodying a more evolved archetype within yourself.
And this ties right into his whole idea of the individuation process, becoming whole.
Directly. Because by observing those unconscious mental states, the ones we often ignore or aren't even aware of, and then consciously shifting them, you start to integrate what Jung called the shadow aspects.
The parts of ourselves we don't like or have pushed away.
Exactly. And the more you integrate those shadow parts, the fuller your expression of your true self becomes. You become more whole and therefore more capable of directing your energy in alignment with that wholeness.
And then the universe starts responding. That's where synchronicity comes in.
That's the beautiful feedback loop, yes. As you do this inner transmutation work, you start noticing things, meaningful coincidences. Those moments that feel just too perfect, too timely to be random chance.
Like the world is winking at you.
Kind of. Jung saw these synchronicities as symbolic affirmations popping up in the outer world, directly reflecting your new internal state. They're not caused by your inner work in a simple A to B way, but they correlate. They show up as signs of this deep, energetic resonance you've now established. The universe mirrors your alignment.
Okay, this is all amazing conceptually, but how do we do it?
Yeah.
How do we practice mental transmutation?
Yeah.
The source mentions a workshop, the transmutation screen.
Yes, it provides a really concrete framework. We can't walk through every single step now, but the essence is about creating a deliberate, almost sacred space.
Setting an intention.
Exactly. Then you identify a specific low-frequency pattern you feel stuck in, like maybe feeling unsupported or overwhelmed. Then comes the core part. You actively choose a higher desired state, like empowered or abundant. And crucially, you find a transmutation action, a specific, often embodied thing you can do to bridge the gap.
Like saying an affirmation while moving your body. Or touching nature.
Precisely. It might involve journaling, visualization, using elements like water or fire symbolically, and then performing a physical, ritualized action to really anchor that shift in your body and your being.
So it's not just thinking about changing.
No, it's about becoming the change through these focused internal and external acts. You have to feel the shift, embody it, act as if the new state is already true. That's where the real power lies.
It sounds like bridging the gap between just understanding it and actually living it.
That's exactly what these practices aim for. Engaging your body, the elements, your symbolic mind, you're signaling loud and clear to your own deep unconscious and to the wider energy field that this new frequency is now active. It's ancient wisdom, really embodiment and conscious manifestation.
And that closing affirmation for this principle is just so potent. I am not bound by thought. I am the flame that reshapes thought. I transmute reality with my presence. I am both the dreamer and the revealed. It really captures that active role.
It frames you as the alchemist of your own experience.
Okay, so if our minds are these alchemical instruments, that leads us naturally to the next big idea, another huge Hermetic principle. The all is mind. The universe is mental. What's the core message here? How does this change things?
This one is incredibly empowering, I think. The core message is essentially, you are not separate from source, you are the all in expression.
Wow. Okay, unpack that a bit.
It clarifies that this ultimate reality or source isn't some distant, separate God figure out there. It's the infinite source field of consciousness itself. And this consciousness permeates absolutely everything.
Everything, like chairs, rocks, thoughts.
Everything. Every single thing you perceive, including your own consciousness, your thoughts, your feelings, it's all made of the same fundamental mental essence.
Yeah.
It points to a radical, fundamental interconnectedness.
So understanding this, it must completely shift your perspective on your own creative power.
Absolutely. Because when you grasp this, you realize that connecting deeply within yourself means you're aligning with the very creative intelligence that is the universe. It's not just that the universe has a mind, the universe is mind.
That's a huge difference.
It is. And the Abundance book complements this perfectly. It states, "You are not the source of your supply. You are the recipient of the infinite energy of divine abundance."
Ah, that's a key distinction. We're not the generator, we're the receiver.
Or maybe the channel. It encourages you to let go of that fear of scarcity, that feeling of being separate and having to make it all happen yourself. It reminds you you're connected to this vast field of intelligence that responds not to frantic effort or panic,
But to what?
to stillness, to presence, to a deep remembrance of your inherent connection to this universal mind.
That feels very different. More allowing. Now, the animist take on this must be beautiful.
It really is. For the animist, the all isn't just some high-level concept. It's right here, right now, experienced directly.
Ow.
Through the breath of the wind, the rhythm of water, the solidity of the land, the wisdom you might feel from ancient trees. To commune with the all in animism is to acknowledge that spirit, that mind, speaks through every natural thing.
So just being present becomes a form of prayer.
Exactly. Presence becomes prayer. Stillness becomes a source of power. It's about cultivating a sacred relationship with every aspect of existence, recognizing the mind, the consciousness in all things around you.
It emphasizes the immanence of the divine, doesn't it? It's not out there, it's in here and right here.
Perfectly put. It's about recognizing the sacredness inherent in all of creation, seeing the world itself as a living mind. And when you cultivate that kind of pervasive presence, you naturally open yourself to a constant dialogue with the divine because it's literally everywhere.
And Jung connects this cosmic idea to our inner world too, right?
Yeah.
With the self.
Yes, profoundly. He spoke of the self as the unifying archetype within the psyche. It's like the bridge between your individual ego consciousness and this larger universal divine mind.
And he also talked about the unus mundus.
Right, the one world. It's
Yeah.
this idea of a deeper reality where the inner world of the psyche and the outer world of matter are not separate but united, where mind and matter are two aspects of the same thing, and his use of mandalas.
Plus circular designs.
They are symbolic representations of the self, images of wholeness, integration, the divine center within. So for Jung, the all isn't just a metaphysical concept, it's also psychological wholeness. It's the organizing intelligence at the very core of your own psyche, waiting to be realized and expressed.
So the universal principle is mirrored inside us. Connecting with that inner self is connecting with the all.
Precisely. When you connect with that deep self, you're tapping into that organizing intelligence, that spark of the divine within you. And Jung believed that as you do this, it naturally reflects outwards as greater wholeness, coherence, and responsiveness in your external life. You become a conscious co-creator within this symbolic field.
You start directing your psychic energy differently.
Yes, influencing the very tone and imagery that emerges in your outer reality.
Okay, so practically speaking, how do we start engaging with this massive idea, the universe as mental, ourselves as expressions of the all? What do the practices look like?
Well, they often revolve around cultivating that inner connection. Things like stillness rituals, just sitting quietly, breathing, feeling that presence within. Creating personal mandalas can be powerful drawing symbols that represent your connection to that divine center.
Like a visual map of your soul.
Exactly. And also embodied movement practices, maybe moving slowly, consciously feeling your connection to the earth, the air, to source energy. It's really about shifting your perception, training yourself to recognize the inherent sacredness and mind in everything, and letting that understanding reshape how you interact with the world.
It's moving from just knowing it intellectually to actually feeling it, embodying it.
That's the key. These tools help bridge that gap. You're directly connecting your individual self with that universal presence, seeing the divine reflection everywhere, and actively participating in the mental creation of your reality.
There's a beautiful closing affirmation for this one too. I do not chase power, I return to it. The all is not elsewhere. It is the ground of my being. I open, I listen, I align. I am the breath of the one. Just, wow, an invitation to simply be.
To rest in that connection.
Okay, building on this idea that the universe is mental, we hit one of the most famous Hermetic axioms, one people might have heard. As above, so below. As within, so without. This is the law of correspondence. How does this specifically guide us in shaping our reality?
This one is so fundamental to personal transformation. The modern take is that the universe isn't just a collection of physical stuff obeying fixed laws. It's mind and form.
Mind and form, okay?
which means your outer world, the people you meet, the situations you find yourself in, your finances, your health, it's all fundamentally a projection, a reflection of what's going on inside you. Your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, your dominant frequency.
So it shifts the focus entirely. Instead of looking out there for causes,
You look in here. It highlights the incredible power of your internal state.
so the core theme is basically, you live inside a mirror. Everything you encounter is reflecting you back to you.
That's a great way to put it. It means that circumstances aren't just random things happening to you. They are, in a deep way, reflecting your own inner frequency, your dominant beliefs, your unresolved issues.
Which leads to the key insight. If you want to change your outer experience,
You must update the internal script. You have to change the image being projected onto the mirror. That realization gives you profound agency. You're the editor of your life's movie.
and the abundance book really drives this home too, saying, your world of form is created by the energy of your thought and belief.
Yes, and the crucial application there is to stop treating external conditions like fixed, unchangeable facts. They are reflections. If you can truly grasp that, then you understand that by recoding your internal beliefs, by changing your dominant thoughts and feelings, the universe, being mental, has to comply. It has to reflect the new inner reality.
The mirror has to show the new image.
Okay.
Okay, how does the animist perspective color this?
It adds this rich layer of interconnectedness and responsiveness. For the animist, the world isn't dead matter. It's a living, thinking, feeling entity, a living mind.
So you're walking within this mind.
Exactly. Every tree, every animal, the wind, the stars, they're all part of this conscious dreaming field. So as within, so without means nature itself is consciousness in action, actively responding to your inner state.
So you're not just projecting onto a blank screen. You're interacting with a responsive consciousness.
Precisely. The world talks back. Nature mirrors your inner landscape. Every interaction becomes potential feedback, a potential dialogue about your own internal state.
Wow. And Jung's work connects here powerfully too, with projection, shadow, and inner alchemy, right?
Absolutely. This principle is the playground for Jungian projection. Jung taught that we constantly, and usually unconsciously, project our own inner stuff, beliefs, traits, especially the potentials we've disowned onto other people and situations.
The things we judge harshly in others might be parts of ourselves we haven't owned.
Often, yes, that's the shadow. It's the rejected, repressed, or undeveloped parts of ourselves. We push it down, and then we see it out there. The work, the inner alchemy, is becoming conscious of these projections and then retrieving them.
Taking back the energy.
Yes, reclaiming that lost power, that disowned part of yourself. This brings immense clarity. You stop blaming the outer world and realize your role in creating your experience. It's about withdrawing those projections to see clearly and live more consciously from wholeness.
So the mirror reflects the internal, and by understanding our projections onto that mirror, we gain mastery.
Exactly. You become more whole, more powerful, and much more deliberate in how you create your reality.
So practically, how do we work with as above, so below? How do we use this mirror?
The source material suggests several powerful approaches. One is mirror meditation, literally sitting and gazing into your own eyes, asking yourself, what inner patterns are being reflected back to you in your life right now? Really seeing yourself.
That sounds intense.
It can be.
Yeah.
Another is taking an outer world inventory, listing maybe 5 external challenges or conflicts you're facing. Then, for each one, honestly asking, what emotion does this evoke in me? What underlying belief might have attracted this? What part of myself does the situation or person represent? Is it my inner critic, my fear of failure?
Connecting the outer event to the inner source.
Yes. Then comes the crucial step, rewriting the script. Consciously choosing and writing down a new belief that counteracts the old, limiting one. Maybe even writing a short paragraph, imagining your life as if that new belief were already true.
And living into it.
And embodying it, often through ritualized action. Maybe writing the old belief down and burning it safely, releasing it. Then speaking the new belief aloud to nature, asking the elements to witness your shift. It's about making the internal change tangible and signaling it to the universe.
Working consciously with the mirror.
Exactly. Providing direct feedback to yourself about how your inner world shapes the outer, and actively engaging in that process of psychic reclamation and deliberate creation.
The affirmation for this one feels so direct. My world is not accidental. I am the dreamer, the scriptwriter, the projector. I see clearly, I choose wisely, I call back my projections, and stand in my creative truth. It puts you firmly in the driver's seat.
It really emphasizes that creative agency.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly to another absolutely core Hermetic principle, one that underpins so much of modern energy work. Vibration. The principle states, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. It paints a picture of a universe in constant dynamic motion.
It absolutely does. And it's not just a philosophical idea. It's increasingly backed by physics. The modern interpretation is that everything, absolutely everything, is energy in motion.
Everything. Solid objects, too.
Yep. Solid objects just vibrate at a much lower, denser frequency, but your thoughts, your emotions, sound, light, even your sense of identity, it's all patterns of vibration. And crucially, the frequency at which you vibrate largely determines the reality you experience.
So the core theme here is incredibly direct, almost startlingly so. Change your vibration, change your timeline.
That's the essence of it. By consciously learning to shift your energetic state, your dominant emotional and mental frequency, you literally begin to align with different potential outcomes, attract different people and opportunities, unlock different possibilities. It's like tuning a radio dial to a different station.
You change the frequency, you change the broadcast you receive.
Exactly. It feels like a very direct way to influence your life, moving beyond just changing thoughts to changing your fundamental energetic signature.
And the abundant book connects us to supply, saying, spirit is the only cause. When you are in harmony with spirit, you are in the flow of supply.
Right. The practical application there is profound. It means you don't necessarily need to chase outcomes or force things to happen through sheer willpower. Instead, you focus on raising your own frequency to match the frequency of the outcome or experience you desire, be it abundance, love, health, creativity.
And then it comes to you.
It begins to seek you out. It's about creating energetic resonance, becoming a magnetic match for what you desire, rather than struggling against perceived lack.
That's a much more flowing approach. How does animism view vibration?
It's deeply intuitive from an animist perspective. Everything in nature pulses with vibration, and these vibrations are often palpable, felt.
Like the feeling you get in an old forest or by the ocean.
Exactly. Birdsong, the rustling of leaves, the rhythm of waves, the hum of the earth. These aren't just sounds or movements, they are frequencies that can naturally recalibrate the human energetic field. The animist approach isn't about forcing a higher vibration, but about attuning yourself to the natural, harmonious rhythms of life already present.
Finding your flow with nature's flow.
Yes, becoming a conductor who feels the symphony around them and joins in, rather than trying to impose their own melody onto everything. You allow nature's coherence to lift your own.
It's co-creation through resonance. Beautiful. And Jung, how did vibration fit into his model?
It connects beautifully through his ideas of libido, feeling tone, and synchronicity. Remember, libido, the psychic energy. That energy is vibration. It's the energetic signature of the psyche. And Jung emphasized the importance of the inner feeling tone, that underlying emotional state you carry around.
The vibe you give off.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
He believed this feeling tone acts like a magnet, actively attracting corresponding symbols, dream images, and those meaningful synchronistic events into your outer life.
So your inner vibe attracts your outer tribe and experiences.
In a way, yes. The more aligned your conscious intentions and your unconscious feeling tone become, the clearer and more coherent your energetic signal is. And when your inner field is coherent, Jung suggested, manifestation tends to follow more naturally, as the outer world simply mirrors that inner frequency.
So the inner state is broadcasting a signal.
A very real signal. What you emit, you attract. It's a profound validation of the power of your inner state.
Okay, so how do we practically shift our frequency? It sounds great, but what do we actually do?
There are many ways, and the source suggests several useful practices. One basic but powerful one is doing daily vibration scans. Just taking a moment to check in. How do I feel right now emotionally? What thoughts are looping? What kind of energy, what vibration am I radiating? Heavy, light, scattered, peaceful, empowered? Just noticing is the first step.
Becoming aware of your current station.
Exactly. Then you can use tools for active shifting. Things like sound activation rituals using singing bowls, tuning forks, specific music frequencies like binaural beats or solfeggio frequencies can literally help recalibrate your internal field through resonance.
Using sound to retune yourself.
Yes. Another powerful method is nature resonance walks. Going outside, ideally barefoot if possible, walking slowly, consciously breathing, touching trees or plants, and intentionally feeling the earth's vibration, attuning your rhythm to nature's pace. It's very grounding and stabilizing for your energy field.
Connecting back to that natural harmony.
And a more Jungian approach involves symbolic tuning. You choose a word, or even better, an image or archetype that embodies the frequency you want to cultivate, maybe joy, sovereignty, peace.
Okay.
Then you meditate on that symbol. ask yourself, what story does this symbol live in? What does it feel like? You use it like an inner talisman, allowing its energy, its frequency to permeate your being.
Like inviting that energy in through a symbol.
Precisely. All these methods are about consciously, actively working with your own energy field to raise your state
It's about taking responsibility for your own frequency.
and knowing you have the power to change it.
The closing affirmation for vibration captures this perfectly. I am a field of living energy. I tune my frequency and change my life. I vibrate in harmony with the rhythm of Source. It's a real statement of energetic self-mastery.
It really is.
All right, let's move on to another fundamental Hermetic principle, one that's crucial for understanding creation and balance: gender. And we need to be clear. The principle states, gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This isn't about biology, right?
Not at all. That's the most important thing to grasp right away. This principle refers to universal energetic polarities, forces that are present in all things, not just living beings defined by biological sex.
So what are these principles, these
Yeah.
energies?
The modern interpretation sees them as the fundamental forces required for any creation to occur. Think of the masculine principle as the active, projective, structuring force, like will, focus, logic, direction, the doing energy.
Okay, the initiator.
All right. And the feminine principle is the receptive, nurturing, imaginative force, like intuition, feeling, allowing, surrender, the being or containing energy. Creation, whether it's a project, a relationship, or even a new reality, requires the dynamic interplay, the union of these two.
Like electricity needs positive and negative poles to flow.
Exactly. One isn't better than the other. They are complementary and both absolutely essential. So the core theme here becomes true power is birthed from internal union.
Internal union
Yeah.
within ourselves.
Yes. When your own active directed energies, your inner masculine, and your receptive, allowing energies, your inner feminine, learn to collaborate consciously within you, that's when you become a truly potent, balanced creator. It's about a sacred dance between these forces inside your own being.
Not letting one dominate the other.
Precisely. It's about integration and balance. And the Abundance book illustrates this synergy beautifully in the context of manifestation. It says, when the heart and mind are united in vision, manifestation is certain.
Heart and mind. Like feminine feeling and masculine thought.
That's a great way to see it.
Mhm.
The application here is that prosperity, or any desired outcome, doesn't just come from relentless action, pure masculine, or passive wishing, pure feminine. It arises from the conscious marriage of intention, the masculine force setting the direction, and surrender, or feeling, the feminine force allowing it, embodying it, nurturing it. It highlights the need for this perfect balance.
Doing and allowing. Okay, how does animism see this?
Oh, the animist perspective is so vivid here. Creation in nature is almost always depicted as this sacred dance between forces seen as feminine and masculine.
Like earth and sky.
Exactly. Earth, often seen as the receptive, nurturing feminine womb. Sky, the active, fertilizing masculine source. Rain falls from the sky, masculine action. And seeds sprout from the earth, feminine reception and nurturing. You see it everywhere. The spark meets the womb, the doing meets the being.
It's a constant interplay.
It is. And the key reminder is that you, as a human being, carry this very same sacred polarity within you. Your directed thoughts can be like seeds, masculine, but your emotional state, your feeling body, is the fertile soil, feminine. Both must be honored and aligned for your intentions to take root and grow into reality.
That makes it very tangible. And Jung, of course, explored this inner polarity extensively.
Deeply, through his concepts of the anima and animus and the goal of psychic syzygy.
Okay, remind us about anima and animus.
Jung taught that every psyche, regardless of the person's biological sex, contains both contrasexual archetypes. For a biological male, the anima represents the inner feminine archetype, the source of feeling, intuition, creativity, relatedness, receptivity. For a biological female, the animus embodies the inner masculine archetype, providing structure, logic, analysis, opinion, direction, assertiveness.
So we all have both within us.
Yes. And healthy psychological development, or individuation as Jung called it, involves consciously integrating these inner figures, bringing them into balance and collaboration. This inner sacred union, this balanced state, Jung called syzygy.
The sacred marriage within.
Exactly. When you achieve this inner balance, your psyche becomes more whole. And a whole integrated mind naturally manifests more holistically, more effectively, and more wisely in the outer world. It's the internal blueprint for balanced creation.
It connects directly back to that core theme, true power from internal union.
Absolutely. Jung's model provides the psychological map for achieving that union.
So practically, how do we foster this sacred inner union? How do we get our inner masculine and feminine energies talking and dancing together?
The practices often start with awareness, doing a gender energy scan. Just journaling or reflecting on when you feel your masculine energy activated, doing, deciding, pushing, and when you feel your feminine energy, receiving, sensing, allowing, being. Noticing which feels more dominant, more comfortable, or perhaps suppressed.
Just noticing the balance or imbalance.
Yes. Then engaging in something like an animist gender invocation ritual. This could be as simple as sitting quietly, maybe placing a symbolic object representing the feminine, like a bowl of water, a flower, to your left, and one for the masculine, a stone, a candle, to your right. Then, consciously speaking, calling forth both energies within you, asking them to come into balance and collaboration for your highest good, feeling their presence.
Setting a conscious intention for union.
Exactly. And a key Jungian technique is inner dialogue, actually visualizing your anima or animus as a figure, a character, maybe someone from a dream, and having a conversation with them in your journal, asking them what they need, how they feel neglected, how they can support you, how you can work together.
Giving these inner parts a voice.
Yes. And finally, applying it to goals through a manifestation blueprint that uses dual force. So for any goal, you consciously define what masculine energy is needed here, focus, planning, action steps, and what feminine energy is needed, visioning, feeling the outcome, trusting the process, allowing intuition, resting. Then you consciously schedule both types of activities into your week.
So you're not just pushing and you're not just waiting. You're doing both.
You're integrating both forces deliberately. It makes manifestation much more powerful and sustainable.
It sounds like bringing your whole self, your whole inner toolkit to the process.
That's exactly it. Fostering that inner wholeness allows your desires to manifest with greater ease, integrity, and balance.
The closing affirmation here really sums it up. My masculine acts, my feminine allows. Together they weave my world I create through sacred union. It's about that collaboration.
The synergy of the two.
Okay, now we've touched upon the masculine and feminine principles in everything. How does this apply specifically to the mind, to the process of creation itself? This brings us to mental gender.
Yes, this principle takes the concept of gender and applies it directly to the mechanics of mental creation and manifestation. It states, gender manifests on all planes, including the mental plane. Every mind contains both the masculine and feminine elements, and creation relies on their union within thought itself.
So it's not just about balancing action and being in the world, but balancing forces within our very thinking process.
Precisely. The modern interpretation is that all creation, whether it's a physical object, an emotional state, a new reality, or even just solving a problem, originates from the union of thought, often seen as the masculine directive element, and feeling or imagination, the feminine receptive formative element. Mental gender is essentially the formula for how manifestation actually works at the level of mind.
So the core theme is creation begins in the mind through inner union.
That's it. You need both the focused, directed intention, the masculine seed thought, and the receptive, feeling-toned imagination, the feminine womb or soil for the universe, which is mental, to respond and begin shaping that intention into form.
One without the other is incomplete.
Exactly. Pure intellect without feeling lacks power. Pure feeling without direction lacks form. You need the merger.
Yeah.
And the Abundance book captures this beautifully. Supply follows vision, not worry, not fear. The inner image is the mold.
Ah, the inner image is the mold. That sounds very feminine.
It is. The masculine mind might impress the idea, provide the focus, the what. But the feminine mind, through feeling and vivid imagination, molds the energy, gives it substance, makes it real to the subconscious and the universe. When they are aligned and working together, they generate the result.
So the masculine directs, the feminine gestates.
A perfect analogy. And the animist perspective resonates deeply here, too. Many animistic creation rites involved exactly this interplay.
How so?
Often, a shaman or practitioner would use the masculine spirit or focused intent to speak the vision, to cast the intention, but they would do so into the receptive feminine field, the earth, the community's energy, the dreaming which would receive, nurture, and ultimately birth that vision into reality.
Seed and soil again.
Seed and soil, sacredly understood, sky lightning striking the earth womb. Our thoughts are the seeds. Our emotions and feelings are the soil. Both need care and alignment.
That makes the process feel very organic and sacred. How does Jungian psychology view this mental union?
Jung emphasized the power of imagination as the gateway to the unconscious, the realm of the feminine, the source of creative potential and wisdom. He saw the masculine and feminine archetypes, anim and animus, as profoundly shaping our dreams, instincts, and creative flow. For Jung, true individuation, becoming whole, absolutely requires this sacred marriage, the psychic union of these opposites within the mind.
So mental gender, for Jung, is a psychological formula for co-creation.
Yes. It's how the conscious mind, often more masculine associated, partners with the unconscious, often more feminine associated, through active imagination, feeling, and intuition to bring forth something new, a new insight, a new reality, a more integrated self.
It's the engine of inner alchemy.
Precisely.
So how do we practically work on this creator's union within our minds? How do we get thought and feeling working together on our goals?
It starts, again, with awareness. Inner polarity mapping is a good first step. Take a goal or desire. Journal. What does my masculine mind, logic, will, analysis, say about this? What are the steps, the plan? Then ask, what does my feminine mind, intuition, feeling, inner knowing, imagery, say or feel about this? Where do they agree? Where is there conflict or disconnect?
Finding the points of friction or harmony.
Exactly. Then, practices like an animist gender meditation can help integrate them. Visualizing maybe a golden sphere of energy in your forehead, representing focused thought masculine, and a silver sphere in your heart, representing feeling, receptivity feminine. Breathing deeply, imagining these two orbs meeting, merging, creating a radiant field of unified energy, maybe affirming, my thought leads, my feeling receives, I create from sacred inner union.
Actively visualizing the integration.
Yes. And Jungian active imagination is perfect here. Setting aside 15 minutes, closing your eyes, and literally calling forth your inner masculine aspect related to the goal, letting it speak its piece. Then calling forth the inner feminine aspect, letting her respond, journaling the dialogue, what wisdom emerges, what shared desire gets co-created.
Giving both sides a voice in the creative process.
Absolutely. And then bringing it into action with a manifestation blueprint grid. Create 2 columns. Masculine actions, things like focused work, scheduling, speaking your intention, and feminine practices, visualizing, feeling the end result, intuitive prompts, allowing rest, receiving guidance. List specific actions for your goal in both columns and commit to doing things from both sides daily or weekly.
Ensuring both energies are actively engaged.
Right. It creates that dynamic balance. Even simple embodiment and energy dances can help, like each morning stepping forward with your right foot saying, I lead with vision, then stepping back or grounding with your left foot saying, I receive with grace. Repeating that physically anchors the mental integration.
It sounds like making the mental union physical.
Exactly. It grounds the concept and reinforces the pattern in your nervous system.
The affirmation for mental gender feels like the culmination. My mind is whole, my thought directs, my feeling creates. I birth realities through sacred fusion. It really emphasizes that inner partnership.
The power of the integrated mind.
Okay, we've covered some massive individual principles. Now, the source also talks about Hermetic axioms as a whole. Things like, all truths are but half-truths. Every truth is half false. There are 2 sides to everything. How should we understand these axioms? Are they like cheat codes?
Cosmic cheat codes is actually a pretty good way to think about them. The source suggests that these axioms and the principles we've discussed aren't just intellectual concepts to understand. They are deep truths about the nature of reality. And when you start to live them deeply, not just know them, reality itself starts to feel less rigid, more like a field of play, magic, and purpose.
So the core theme is, truth is layered, power lives in embodiment.
Exactly. You don't become an initiate, you don't gain mastery just by reading the books or knowing the principles intellectually. You gain it by living these truths, by embodying them in your daily actions, thoughts, and perceptions. That's when the magic happens.
It's the difference between knowing the map and actually walking the territory.
Perfectly said. And the Abundance book connects this to supply by emphasizing alignment. The source never withholds. Your alignment to truth is your access to supply. Each principle, each axiom, when truly lived, becomes like a gateway, opening you to the flow of abundance because you're aligning with how reality actually works.
So you're aligning with the operating system.
Right. The animist perspective sees these laws not as abstract rules, but as living, ecological, energetic realities. Polarity is in day and night. Rhythm is in the tides. Gender is in the dance of sun and earth. They aren't just ideas. They are natural flows and rhythms to sync with. You embody them by moving in harmony with the world.
Becoming part of the dance, not just observing it.
Yes. And Jung, with his focus on the psyche, saw these truths, especially the paradoxical ones like all truths are half-truths, as reflecting the mystery of opposites that the psyche needs for growth. The psyche integrates and expands through holding paradox, not through finding single, simple answers.
So living these axioms helps the individuation process.
Profoundly. Jung believed that living symbolically, paying attention to synchronicity, working with archetypes, seeing the mythic patterns in your daily life is the true path to awakening. So living these Hermetic axioms isn't just about changing your outer world, it's about fundamentally rewiring your being by engaging with these deep archetypal truths as inner symbols that guide your life.
Wow. Okay, so how do we practice living these axioms? How do we embody them?
The source suggests some really creative ways, like creating an axiom activation deck, literally writing the key axioms or principles on cards. Each morning, you pull one, you sit with it. How does this truth apply to my life today? What specific action, however small, does this invite me to take?
Making it a daily conscious focus.
Yes. Another is the animist walk of law. Take the axiom you pulled and go for a 20-minute walk in nature, specifically looking for how the environment demonstrates that law. Let the trees teach you about polarity. Let the sky teach you about rhythm. It moves the understanding from your head into your body and senses.
Learning from the world directly.
Exactly. Then there's Jungian symbol practice. For the axiom of the day, you journal. What archetype embodies this truth for me? The magician for mentalism, the lovers for gender. What myth or story comes to mind? Where have I seen this truth play out in my dreams or in synchronistic events? This turns the axioms into your own personal sacred texts.
Making them deeply personal and meaningful.
Right, and the core practice is simply living the axiom. Throughout the day, consciously choose one behavior, one response, one perception that enacts the axiom you're working with. If it's polarity, consciously look for the opposite perspective in a conflict. If it's rhythm, align your tasks with your actual energy wave instead of forcing. If it's gender, approach a task using both logic and intuition.
Small shifts in behavior that embody the principle.
Exactly. You could even do a 7-day axiom challenge, focusing on a different core principle each day, journaling nightly about what you learned, where you resisted, and what shifted in your energy field or outer experience. It's about consistent, conscious embodiment.
It sounds like an active training in living by these deeper laws.
That's precisely what it is, moving from knowing to being.
The closing affirmation for this section emphasizes that. I do not just know the truth. I embody it. The laws are my breath, my motion, my word. Reality reshapes itself around my living presence. That's powerful.
It claims your role as a conscious participant in the energetic structure of reality.
Okay, expert, this has been an incredible journey through these principles. Let's bring it all together now and focus on what so many people are seeking when they explore this kind of material. Abundance consciousness. How do all these Hermetic, Jungian, and animist ideas culminate in cultivating true abundance? What's the core law from the abundance book here?
This really is where the rubber meets the road for many people. And the core spiritual law from the abundance book is profound in its simplicity. Supply is spiritual and comes from within.
Comes from within, not out there.
Exactly. The modern interpretation of this, integrating everything we've discussed, is that you are not chasing abundance or trying to acquire it from a limited external world. You are revealing it. Prosperity isn't something you earn through struggle. It's something you allow by attuning your consciousness, your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, your vibration to source, to truth, to wholeness.
So the core theme is incredibly liberating. Abundance is your natural state. Your task is to remove resistance.
That's the paradigm shift. Lack, scarcity, struggle. These are not the fundamental reality. They are distortions, misperceptions, states of resistance, or misalignment with your true nature, which is inherently abundant because you are an expression of the infinite all.
Wow. So how do the Hermetic principles directly help us remove that resistance and align with abundance?
They provide the exact toolkit. Mentalism, the all is mind, tells us prosperity begins in consciousness. Change your dominant mental blueprint from lack to abundance. Vibration teaches you to align your energetic frequency with the feeling of abundance, knowing like attracts like. Polarity shows that lack is just one end of the spectrum. You can consciously use your mind and energy to slide the scale towards plenty. Correspondence, as within, so without, confirms that your inner state of abundance or lack will be mirrored externally. And causation reminds you that your inner state, your beliefs, feelings, expectations about abundance, is the cause of your outer financial and material effects. You shift the cause, you shift the effect.
So applying these principles is the work of cultivating abundance consciousness.
It absolutely is. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become a conscious creator of your prosperous reality by mastering these inner dynamics.
How does the animist perspective contribute to feeling abundant? It seems less focused on money, maybe?
It offers a vital, grounding counterpoint to purely mental or transactional views of abundance. The animist invocation connects you to the felt reality of Earth's inherent, lavish abundance. Think about it. Trees don't worry about having enough sunlight or nutrients. Rivers flow freely without hoarding water.
Nature just is abundant.
It is. So the practice is to connect with that. Go outside, maybe put your bare feet on the ground, and consciously speak to the natural world. Show me how to live in enough. Show me how to receive freely. You can affirm, I receive as the forest receives. I flow as the river flows. I prosper as the earth prospers. This anchors the feeling of abundance in something deeply real, non-transactional, and always available. It reminds you that abundance is about flow and connection, not just accumulation.
It connects you to the source of all physical sustenance, really.
Yes, and reminds you that that source operates from effortless generosity, a state you can attune to.
Now, Jungian psychology offers some incredibly powerful and sometimes confronting tools for abundance work, right? Especially around our hidden beliefs about money.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Jung helps us excavate the unconscious drivers of our relationship with abundance. First, exploring money as archetype. What symbolic form does money take in your personal psyche? Is it a demanding tyrant? A rescuing savior? An unpredictable trickster? Or a supportive ally? Identifying this core archetype reveals your default relationship.
That alone sounds revealing.
It is. Then there's vital shadow work. What unconscious beliefs may be inherited from family or culture are blocking your ability to receive? What stories about money, wealth, deservingness did you absorb without realizing? Where have you perhaps unconsciously sabotaged your own prosperity because of these hidden beliefs or loyalties?
Getting honest about the hidden blocks.
Yes. And finally, symbolic activation. Paying attention to the images, dreams, or synchronicities that show up around money or abundance themes in your life. What are they telling you? Jungian journaling prompts can be powerful here. If money had a face, what would it look like? What did my primary caregivers teach me directly or indirectly about abundance? Where do I feel unworthy of receiving?
This sounds like deep excavation work.
It is, because our relationship with abundance is rarely just logical. It's deeply emotional and often rooted in these unconscious money complexes. By bringing them into the light of conscious awareness, you can start to dismantle the hidden barriers and liberate your natural capacity for prosperity. You make the unconscious conscious.
Okay, so bringing it all together, Hermetic principles, animist connection, Jungian shadow work. How does one practically embark on, say, the 40-day abundance embodiment workshop mentioned in the source? What does that look like day to day?
It's designed for consistent reprogramming and embodiment. It usually involves several core practices done daily or weekly over that period. First, a daily statement of principle. Repeating aloud with feeling powerful affirmations like the one from the Abundance book. God is lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. This all-providing source of infinite prosperity is individualized as me, the reality of me. Saying it maybe with a hand on your heart, feet on the earth, really feeling it.
Imprinting the truth daily.
Yes. Then perhaps a weekly sacred money ritual. Taking a coin or bill, maybe lighting a green candle, holding the money, and speaking to it. You are energy. You are permission. I release resistance. I open to receive. Maybe floating the coin in water, symbolizing flow. Visualizing the candle's light, multiplying abundance. It transforms your relationship with money from mundane to sacred.
Seeing money as energy, not just paper.
Exactly. Another powerful element is archetype ally activation. Meditating and consciously inviting an inner ally of wealth, maybe a benevolent king or queen, a golden animal, a wise guy, even your joyful inner child playing with abundance and asking for their support, wisdom, and guidance. Journaling about the interaction.
Enlisting inner support.
Yes, and integrating that earth-based receiving practice daily, consciously noticing and receiving abundance from nature. The warmth of the sun, the beauty of a flower, the taste of fresh water, the sound of birdsong, anchoring the feeling of being provided for in the non-transactional generosity of the earth.
Training yourself to see abundance everywhere.
Precisely. And throughout the 40 days, keeping a log or journal, tracking evidence of abundance showing up. Gifts, opportunities, inspired ideas, compliments. Noting lack-based thoughts you successfully transmuted, recording actions taken from faith instead of fear, then reviewing and celebrating the shifts on day 40.
It sounds like a comprehensive retraining of consciousness.
That's exactly the goal. Consistent, conscious action across mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical levels to shift your entire being into resonance with your natural state of abundance.
The closing affirmation for this section feels like a powerful arrival point. I do not wait for wealth. I am the temple of infinite prosperity. My mind is aligned. My energy is open. I walk the earth in abundance.
It's a declaration of that embodied state of being.
Wow, what an incredible journey we've taken today. We've gone through these foundational Hermetic principles, woven in those deep Jungian insights about the psyche, and grounded it all with the wisdom of animist practices.
It really has been a deep dive. From understanding the mind as this amazing alchemical tool, to seeing the universe as a responsive mental mirror, to feeling that dynamic interplay of masculine and feminine energies within us.
We've really explored some profound ways to consciously engage with and shape our reality.
We've seen how every aspect of our inner world, our thoughts, our feelings, the archetypes active within us, even our unconscious patterns and shadows is constantly influencing, even creating our outer experience.
And the integration of these different wisdom streams, ancient Hermeticism, modern psychology via Jung, earth-based animism, and the practical focus of the Abundance Book. It's not just theory, is it?
Not at all. It offers really tangible pathways, practical tools for genuine personal transformation and the development of conscious creation skills.
It really feels like the magic isn't out there somewhere waiting for us to find it. It's right here. It's in the conscious dance between our own inner landscape, our minds, our hearts, our energy, and this living, breathing, responsive universe around us.
That's beautifully put. It's an interactive process.
So we really hope this deep dive has given you listening more than just information. We hope it's sparked a shift in perspective, maybe revealed some hidden assumptions, and giving you a renewed sense of your own inherent power to shape your life.
And we absolutely encourage you to reflect on these concepts. Don't just let them sit as ideas. More importantly, maybe pick one or two of the practices we discussed, something that resonated, and actually experiment with it. See how it feels. See what shifts.
Because this isn't really a one-time listen, is it? It's an ongoing journey.
It's a continuous journey of discovery, of conscious alignment, and of stepping more fully into your creative empowerment.
So the final question we leave you with is this. What new reality will you dare to think, feel, and embody starting right now? The principles are ancient. The tools are available. Go forth and create.
Thanks for tuning into Sonara's Deep Dive. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future episodes. I bring you fresh content every week. Thanks for listening.